Hello, hello, hello. This is Els coming to you from Venus Crafty Corner. And I have a few more really quick, easy ideas on how to make some of those charms that we were working on for the dangles for your journals. So let's look at the first one. If you don't have a lot of supplies, this is a great way to do it. For this one, all you need is a couple of pieces of chipboard and a punch, any shape. So you just punch it out of the chipboard, punch it out of some cardstock, and then punch out an image in the same shape and glue it all together. Let it set up. Hit it with some Mod Podge. I like the Super Gloss Brilliant. I just like the look that it gives me, gives me that kind of glassy look. And then just pop a hole in it, and you can add ribbons to this, or you can add a gourd pin or anything that you want, and that will give you the effect that you're looking for of just having that little charm hanging off your dangle. So that's a quick and easy way to do it. So let me get rid of these real quick, and then we'll talk about some of the other ones. Okay. And one of the other ones that I did was using a domino. And for that, all I did was took some tiny little dominoes, and I did rough these up with a nail file to begin with. And then I just added on a coat of paint. I can tell you from experience that the best paint to do this with is actually the chalk paint. It just sticks better for some reason. You get like single coat coverage, and you don't really have to fuss with it too much. If you don't have bales, you can use a glue-on bale. If you don't have a glue-on bale and you're skilled, you can always drill into it and put a little eye hook at the top, bottom, whatever. If you do not have that, you can always just use a piece of wire just bent into a loop at the top, and just glue a piece of cardstock onto the back of it, and that'll secure it in there. You could even put a paper clip back here and glue a piece of cardstock onto the back, and you'll still get that little loop at the top so that you can connect it to a pin or whatever you want to connect it to, a piece of chain, so that you can create that dangle with it. But I've been working on these for about 2 days now, and I pretty much still have to get like all of my little gems and stuff on them. I do have a few that I've gotten the gems on, but I still have to get the gems on. And basically all I did with these is I just painted them a basic color, roughed them up, painted them a basic color. Then I went ahead and covered them in the Mod Podge, added some glitterific to them. If you don't have glitterific, you can use glitter glue. You can just add a little bit of glue and sprinkle some glitter over the top, however you want to do it. You don't have to put any glitter on them if you don't want to. Totally up to you. You could use metallic paint and just leave that as your shine, your shimmer. Apply the images to them, cover them with another coat of Mod Podge. Then when it's all dry, go ahead and add your little gems and stones and things like that to them, and they are ready to go. So I have a few here that are finished, very few that are finished. The rest of these pretty much all need to have their gems and things put on them, and I'll get those over the next day or so. And these purple ones still need to get the light purple still need to get a coat of Mod Podge. So they are still a work in progress. So the next one I really wanted to talk to you guys about is this one here. So this one is really easy to make, and I'm going to show you how to do it with just a few simple things. So hold on a second. I'll get you a list of tools and things that we're going to need, supplies, and then we'll get started. Okay, our supply list. Some regular glue, some Gorilla Glue or E6000, whichever you prefer. A bone folder could be helpful here. Some Mod Podge. I like the Super Gloss. Xyron machine if you have it. If you do not have it, sticker paper works just as well. If you don't have that, you can always use the Mod Podge in place of. You're going to want a couple of pairs of different pliers. We're going to be working with some 1-inch circle images today. I've already pulled one out. We're going to be using some eye pins. These are the 1.5-inch eye pins. You can pick these up in any jewelry findings area. We're going to be using these adhesive cabochon covers. If you don't have these, I'm going to show you a trick for that as well. And we're going to be using some cardstock, not this thin stuff, this really thin papery stuff. We don't want this. We're looking for these stronger, thicker ones. That's the cardstock we want to use for this project. Okay? So the first thing I did is I went in and I cut out my image. And then I cut out 2 circles of my chipboard. And my chipboard that I'm using for this is 22 point. This is like soda box, cereal box, Hostess Pop-Tart kind of stuff, okay? A circle of my colored cardstock. I will be using my StazOn ink with this. And if you do not have these cabochon covers, you can get a piece of packaging like this, that's that thicker plastic, and just use your punch to punch out the circle. Now, mind you, that is a little bit harder to punch than paper, but you'll get through it, no problem. All right, so easy peasy. Here's how we do this. First thing we want to do is take the pin, and we're going to create a loop on the other side. We want to loop on both sides. Now, I have a looping tool. If you do not have a looping tool, you will have to use pliers to do this. But basically, I just want to create a loop on both sides. Once I have a loop on both sides, then I'm just going to start gluing some pieces together here. And the first piece that I'm going to glue together is the cardstock. And I'm going to use regular glue on this. And I'm going to glue that to one piece of my chipboard. I'm going to make sure that it matches up all the way around. And once I have it all pressed out, I'm just going to put it to the side, and I'm going to move on to the next piece. The next piece is the image itself. I'm going to cover the back of this with some ink, with some glue, and add a piece of chipboard. Line it up, make sure it's well round. I have it all the way around. And I'm just going to let these dry for a second, okay? All right, so once I have these glued together, I'm going to go ahead and take a dauber, and I'm just going to add a little bit of StazOn around the side. And basically what I'm trying to do is just get rid of that chipboard. Okay? And I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I'm just going to add a little bit of StazOn to the edge here because I do not want the chipboard to show. Once I have it all the way around, we're going to put this together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take one of these circles, and I have a sheet that I'm already working on here, so we'll take one off of this sheet. And like I said, these are adhesive. They're pre-adhesive. And if you can't find them, then I'm going to show you how to use the workaround. And I'm just going to put that on, and I'm going to make sure that it's perfectly lined up before I press it down. Now I'm going to put some Gorilla Glue on the other piece of chipboard. Just going to put the lid back on. And I'm going to move this around. I'm going to make sure that I get it all the way around on here. Corner to corner, edge to edge. And then, pretty simple, I'm going to take this and I'm going to place it across. And just push it in to the glue. And then I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to find the top, line it up, make sure it's all set, and then I have everything where I want it, all in place. I'm just going to hold this for a couple of seconds. And you could put some clamps on this if you want to. There's a couple of different ones that you can use, or you could just sit here and hold it for about 3-4 minutes. Okay, so when using the plastic disc, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to run your image face down through your Xyron, and then make sure you press your ink on there, your adhesive on there really well, and you're going to peel the back off, and you're basically going to be creating a reverse sticker. We're going to peel that off, and we're just going to take one of our clear discs, and we're going to place it right over the top. We're just going to go ahead and press that down with the bone folder. And then we're just going to create our sandwich like we normally would. If you don't have the plastic, or you're afraid to cut it out with your punch, you can always just cover this with Mod Podge because it's already been treated. Do remember that you need to treat the image though, because if you do not treat the image, what's going to end up happening is you're going to have that image run. And you don't want that to run unless, unless that's the look you're going for. But if you're using a regular inexpensive printer, you're going to need to treat this and seal it before you use Mod Podge on it, or it's going to run. A couple of clamps on here because we are going around that bar in the middle just to hold it down tight for a few minutes, and it will come out, and you will end up with something that looks very similar to this. This is just going to have a flat top. But either way, you're going to get that look that you're looking for. You can paint the wings with some glimmer, like a little wink of Stella or something before you do it. Wherever you want to do it, then you can decorate this just like you would this one with a couple of jewels and things like that, just to set them off and accent them. And of course, you can always decorate the backs as well. So those are 2 ways to do these little charms right here. If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the box below. I'd be happy to hear from you. Until then, do me a favor, folks. Hit that red button for me and subscribe. Like me, ring my bell, and then share me with all your friends. Because I got little stuff. These little dangly pieces. Look out for the smaller crafters, guys. Look them up, search them out, find them, subscribe to them, show them your support, show them your love. Okay? Till the next time. Bye-bye.